Expectations in gaming can generally mean, what you expect a game to be. Having high expectations means you expect a game to be very, very good. You expect it to be top echelon, a game of the year contender. Low expectations means when you play that game, you're not expecting much. You're not expecting it to be good. You're not really expecting it to be bad. You're just playing a video game. Expectations is the downfall of Redfall. And I don't mean that to like intentionally kind of rhyme, but generally that's what it is. When it comes to me and my expectations of Redfall, when the E3 trailer, well, not E3, I always say E3, when the Xbox showcase happened, and we've got our first look at Redfall, I remember telling my friends, oh, look, it's another one of those games. My expectations for Redfall were very, very low, extremely low. Why? I already knew what to expect when it came to this game, because I looked at it, I saw it, and I compared it to other games like it that I have, not the most positive memory of or most positive thoughts of. You think about Redfall and the genre that it takes part in, Left 4 Dead, Back 4 Blood, World War Z, Alien Fireteam Elite. Basically these co-op versus AI, co-op versus the Horde style games. These games to me are generally repetitive. They don't really stick with me very long. I'll play them here and there with friends, and that first burst of playing them I enjoyed Back 4 Blood that first few days of playing it. I enjoyed playing World War Z the first few days of playing it. I didn't really get into Alien Fireteam Elite, but it had its moments where I did enjoy it. We crave, we thirst, we really want that Left 4 Dead experience. We want to bring Left 4 Dead back. We want these games to give us that memory, that nostalgia feeling of Left 4 Dead. The reality is, we as gamers have changed, and the formula of Left 4 Dead just doesn't work anymore, and that's why Redfall mostly fails. Yes, there's other things that cater to the downside of the downfall of Redfall, but understand that when it comes down to it, it's the genre more than the game that is the flaw. These games are really not that fun. They tend to not have expansive, interesting stories. They tend to have very basic graphics. They tend to, not really have very, revolutionary or inventive missions. It's always kind of looks the same cookie cutter, you redoing the same thing over and over again. Left 4 Dead had its charm, where, Left 4 Dead had its characters who, were better than the story. You remember the characters more than you remember the story. You ask one people who play Left 4 Dead, they couldn't even tell you what the story was about. It's not about that. It was about the characters and the fun you have with your friends. But the key here when it comes to like this genre is nostalgia. We're nostalgic about Left 4 Dead. The people who made the game made a new game similar to Left 4 Dead, but it didn't stick. There's a reason for that. We have changed as gamers, and we have changed in what we enjoy and what we will accept. We didn't accept Back 4 Blood. Like, we enjoyed it for like that first few days, but then it immediately died. It immediately became a dead game. You can't be like, well, the reason Back 4 Blood, was a bad game or it was a mediocre game was because of the card system. That would be basically the scapegoat of why Back 4 Blood will be viewed as a bad game. But again, it's the genre. So what does that all have to do with Redfall? This is a Redfall review, and I am your reviewer, Anubis, the Gamer Archer. Hope you all are having a good day. Welcome to my channel. Do all things algorithm likes, like the video, comment, and subscribe as we continue our growth here on YouTube. So, getting to talk about Redfall. What is Redfall? What is Redfall about? And all that good stuff. Well, Redfall is a first-person shooter. Designed by Arcane Studios. Arcane Austin, more so to be exact, but generally Arcane Studios for the Dishonored games and the reboot, remaster, whatever of Prey. That's not necessarily a Prey game. That's not tied to that other Prey game. Look, it's all confusing when it comes to the Prey name. But anyways, Redfall, Dishonored, Arcane Studios. The Redfall has that exact same kind of visuals of the arcane flair, the look that Prey has, the look that Dishonored has. Redfall has that look. You can tell just by looking at it, walking around, interacting with characters. This is an Arcane Studio designed game. And in that sense, that's where it excels. It excels at being visually an Arcane Studios game. And it's a very unique art style that Arcane Studio has, and it's very unique to them. And generally, if you play their games, you love the way they design their characters, the way they design their world, and things like that. And Redfall, for all the negative things people will say about it, has pretty cool character design. A lot of the characters you play as all look pretty nice and look pretty cool. A lot of NPCs you come across look pretty nice, look pretty cool. The enemy design, they all look pretty nice and pretty cool. So it's not like Redfall is struggling when it comes to, you know, the visuals. You know, graphically the game looks pretty solid. You know, I played on the Xbox Series X, not on PC. A lot of the issues people have with Redfall, they experience on PC. On Xbox, you know, I didn't really have any issues when it comes to, you know, crashes or frame rates and things like that. There was like some pop-ins here and there. There was like some weird, you know, flashing of like a light, and like my screen would be like a greenish color or a white color before it decides to load in the map and things like that. But generally, let's get back on topic. I'm talking about you know, what is Redfall. The game takes place on an island town in Massachusetts, and apparently there's like a failed scientific experiment that happened, which caused a legion of vampires to invade said island in Massachusetts. You know, it doesn't matter. You know, their vampires are eating Patriots fans. Like, for crying out loud, we don't need Patriots fans anyway. So, you know, fuck them. All jokes aside, you know, the story is just as much there as it would be in a game like Back 4 Blood, or a game like Alien Fireteam Elite, or a game like World War Z. You know, it's more background, and you know, you're going to spend a lot of time in this game just, you know, redoing the same thing. Go back to the main hub base, pick up a mission, start your mission, go run to that location, and then just regurgitate this loop, this gameplay loop of this genre. To me, isn't fun. I don't really enjoy it all that much, which is why I don't play these games all that often. I'll play them for a bit until I get bored of them, and once it gets to that level of like, okay, I don't care anymore, I stop playing them. I don't think I've ever beaten World War Z, and I've played that game a lot. Same thing when it comes to Back 4 Blood. I didn't beat Back 4 Blood. I didn't beat Left 4 Dead. I didn't beat this game because I just get bored of them, because the mission designs, the gameplay loop, to me, it just gets old. I like my games like Mass Effect. I like my games like The Witcher. I like my games like Halo and Gears of War. And, you know, this game isn't for me. This genre isn't for me. And I'm fully aware of that. And this is why it's just my opinion. There's people out there who love that Fireteam Elite game, who love World War Z story and things like that. There's gonna be someone that, as many negative reviews you'll see of Redfall, there's going to be people who say they thoroughly enjoy this game. Opinions are opinions, and they're all valid. You know, if someone likes the game, that's cool. If someone doesn't like the game, that's also cool. It's okay for things not to be for us. Redfall is not for me. I don't think Redfall's a bad game. I just think Redfall, you know, is just another struggle when it comes to this genre. You know, again, expectations. We started this video talking about expectations. My expectations were low as hell for this game because I knew what genre it was in. My expectations for games in this genre is always low because I know me. I know me as a gamer. I know me as a person. I know that I won't enjoy, you know, these games to the same extent that I'll enjoy Halo, or enjoy Crysis, or enjoy Mass Effect, or enjoy Dragon Age. I know that going in. I know to set my mental expectations low because I know what to expect. I know it's going to be repetitive. I know it's not going to have a great character creator, which it doesn't. It doesn't have one at all. You know, I know it's not going to have the world's best UI. I know it's not going to have a gameplay loop that is going to be going to replay the game for months or days or years. You know, I know that going in. Redfall, you know, in my personal opinion, isn't a bad game. It's just not my kind of game. You know, it has things about it that I like. You know, again, the character models look cool. The world looks nice. You know, the way things, the way the movement is, you know, is enjoyable. I think there can be a lot better things that they could have done. You know, when you come to talk about this genre, I personally feel like that the biggest downside to Redfall is is combat, when it comes to the fact that you can't customize your own weapons. You can't design, you can't like craft weapons for, you can't do that. Like you pick up like these your handguns and your shotguns, sniper rifles, but you don't get to customize them. You don't get to take off scopes or add barrels or things like that. You don't get to do that. There are no melee weapons. Like literally, this is a horde based, you know, vampire, but you can throw in the word zombie style game as well. That doesn't even have melee, like, so you can't run around with a machete or a sword or a hammer or a bow. You can't even use a bow in this game or a crossbow in this game. Like none of that exists in this game, and I feel like that to me makes the game lack a lot. You know, when it leaves a lot to be desired. When it comes to the combat of this game, when it comes to the weapons of this game, it leaves a lot to be desired. Even when it comes to the character's special abilities, they don't really feel all that unique or special. They just seem like they're just things that are there that you don't necessarily care about, that you don't want necessarily like use. You can just sit in here and shoot everything the entire time and not necessarily use any of your abilities, which again, that is a downside to the game, you know. But again, I think the identity of Redfall, I think the idea of it, I think the visuals of it, I think I have fun sometimes playing it. I don't think, but I know I have fun playing it. I streamed it for a bit. You know, we had a number of Redfall streams, and generally I enjoyed myself for the most part. But again, I know that comes with a limit, and that limit is it's only going to be as fun until I get to that mental point of, okay, we're just doing the same thing over and over again. I'm bored. And when it comes down to it, you guys know me. I don't give game scores anymore. I feel like scores are redundant and, you know, kind of silly. They don't paint a good enough picture of how good a game is or how bad a game is. Because if I call Witcher 3 a 10, but also call, you know, another game a 10, but say it's not as good as Witcher 3, that doesn't make any sense, right? And if I call a game a 4, but say it's better than this game that's also a 4, it doesn't make sense. So scores are just, you know, not great to me. I feel like scores and ladder grades, like it's a B, it's a A. I feel like the best way to review a game is just tell people if you enjoyed it or not. What is it about the game that you didn't like? What is it about the game that you do like? You know, what redeeming qualities does the game have? And I hope you guys got that from this review. I hope you guys got a sense of what it is that Redfall is. You know, there is no bias here. I'm not a fanboy of Arcane Studios or a fanboy of a platform. You know, I'm not a fanboy of the genre. You know, I don't have any incentive to trash this game. I don't have any sense to make this game a glowing review, and which is not. There's things in this game that I enjoyed, but for the most part, it's a game that I'll never play again. You know, like I will never play Redfall again. I don't think I'll go back to it because I'm just not having fun with it anymore. Because it's just like World War Z, just like Fireteam Elite, just like Back 4 Blood. I got to a point where it's like, all right, I'm done. And in that sense, Redfall is just an okay video game that might be a better game for you if you're into this genre. If you're not into the genre, you won't like the game. It's really that simple. But with all of that said, that is it for my review of Redfall. Hope you all enjoyed. Do all things algorithm, like video, comment, subscribe, follow me on Twitch. Link is box below. I stream every Monday through Thursday. My stream times are fluctuating right now until I get some things figured out. But generally, we're streaming in the afternoon to the evening. Come by, hang out, all that good stuff. I'll catch you guys on the next video. I've been your boy, Anubis. I'm out of here. Deuces. This enemy not spawning in is literally preventing me from progressing the game. Vampire, but the boss vampire isn't really visible right now.
I needed that.
But where's the boss enemy? There's supposed to be a boss right here who I'm supposed to be freaking fighting, but she's not there. And I want the game to explain that. How am I going to kill the boss for this mission if the boss of the mission is not here? Or my assumption would be that this gas, see like how the eyes are moving? This is the boss right here, but it's not spawning in. I shoot this and it's actually doing, you can see blood squirting from it. You think if we head to the other one, it will actually let me freaking fight the boss now? Oh look, it actually spawned in. I can't do damage to it though. So the boss is more spawned in now, but I can't even do damage to it. It's like I'm not here.
So now it's more spawned in, but I can't do anything. This game just works. What an amazing game. I'm so glad it works. I'm so glad this boss vampire I'm supposed to freaking kill acknowledges that I'm here, and I'm so glad that I can actually sit here and fight it. Yeah, this is so amazing. Destroy vampire? I would like to. It would be so cool if I could just freaking... Oh look, now I could damage to her. Thanks for working, finally, dumbass mission.